Easy over. Oh! Huge run. Go, you good thing. Yep, again. Oh, another beauty. Go! Look at that. Oh, it's good stuff. Another cracking floody. Oh no, he's caught at the side. Taken on that Biscay shad. They're killing it. Go, buddy. Oh, look at that. There you go. It's like 3 casts later. Again. Little Biscay shad. I love the tail action on it. Yes, good fish. There's the fish I was hoping we'd hook. It's a cracker. And, oh, that's so cool because the tide has just changed. Oh, it's a beauty. Easy over. Oh, huge run. Go, you good thing. Oh, what a beautiful fight. Just feeling like I was coming into this right area and man, just working this little lure a lot differently to the way that I use most of my plastics, and I'm going to go through it with you in a sec, but I want to get this big girl in. Just got to get the coffee cups out of the net. Oh, big muddy storms, eh? Look at the runs in this thing. Go, go, go. Wow, it's giving a great account of itself. Beautiful big flatty. Oh, she's a cracker. Stunning colours on it. Come up here, big girl. And I can't wait to show you the way I'm fishing this, because it's something a little bit different that I think it just provides you with another option. I'm fishing heavy weeded areas. Come here, girl. Come here. Oh. I don't like to hurry these bigger flatties, you know, and then they roll around and the hook moves, and oh, I'd rather play the fish out, to be honest. Come here, girl. Yeah, get in there. Beautiful stuff. Wait till you have a look at this beauty. I'll bring you down so you can get a better look at it. Oh. Wow. I was really hoping that this was going to play the right way this morning, and it's just done it beautifully. I was going to go for whiting this morning. I've got some whiting rigs set up, and I was going to chase a few whiting, but the tide wasn't quite moving enough yet, so decided to just give it 20 minutes on these flats before I head up. That lure's just come out, and I'm going to talk to you about this. This is a Storm 360 Coastal GT. I'm going to talk to you about that in a second, because that's how it's all played out with that lure this morning. Beautiful stuff. Come out here. Have I got a glove there? Gloves are still in my ski. I'm going to be really careful with this, but oh, she's a corker. What a beauty. Be up near that 70, I reckon. Yeah, just under 700. Look at that. Just shy of 700. And oh, she got me. Hurrying, trying to get that lure out of the road, and she's got me. Wait till you have a look at this. Oh. Come here, come here, come here. Calm down, calm down. Oh. Have a look at that. What a beauty, eh? Great big flatty, huge mouth with a beautiful take and a run in it. Oh, way to make my morning. Look at the colours in it. Look at those colours in that big flatty. You can see the darkness in it. The way that I've been fishing this thing has been through the dark mud and all the weed, and this new storm lure is just a great way to do it. I'm going to release this fish and then I'll talk to you about how I get into them. Well, what a beautiful fish. Let me show you what I'm fishing with. This is a Biscay shad by Storm 360. They've released these in the last probably 12 months, I think, and they're just a really dynamic looking lure. They've got this special jig head. They come in two different types. There's an exposed hook and a weedless one. Let me show you. They've just got some fantastic finishes on them. Have a look at that jig head. Like, painted jig heads are all the rage. In the Flathead Classic, a lot of the guys, they love to paint their own jig heads up, but there's a few that are coming out now with all the detail you could wish for. These are these 360 GT Coastals. And they come in a variety of colours. I love the ones that just look like a little whiting, and that was the appeal for me. Now you can see 21 grams, 19 grams. They're super heavy, and a lot heavier than what you would use generally when you're fishing for flathead with jig heads. But the appeal for me was this weedless setup that allows you to punch through the weed, and that's where I'm fishing. There's a flatty's just taken off right here. I could see the mud storm there. The mud and the weed on anything else would really just catch it up and stop you being able to fish these things. A little bit like a Z-Man snake lock setup, these things are weedless and they just move through the weed just beautifully. And so I'm not getting caught up, and I'm able to fish through all this cover where the flathead are sitting on the change of the tide here. There's not a lot happening. They're all sitting in tight against this weed stuff, and boy, what a beautiful way to do it. Let me show you the way that I fished it, because it's a lot different to the big sort of lift and drop technique. I'm only fishing in about, it'll be 60 centimeters of water. I'm just running my Dobbins 7-foot rod with my braid and fluorocarbon leader, and I'm casting out across all the scattered weed. And it's a different technique that really has got it done. And I missed a good fish earlier, and then that big one came up and just grabbed it, and boy, what a great fight. So fairly light drag, because it can run through all this weed and start to really hurt your drag. If you've got it too tight, the pressure on the fish when it's scooting through all the weed, it just mounts up. So fishing a relatively light drag. It's like a shushing technique across the bottom. I'm not like hopping it off the bottom, letting it drop back down. These are super heavy jig heads, and I'm kind of just shushing it along the bottom and then just stopping it with a real busy sort of like a and you'll see the little paddle tail on these things. That little paddle tail gets going super easy, and then you can drag it through the mud and not get caught up on anything. And they kind of just dig a little bit, because the toe point is just above the head there, above the eye. They kind of drag through the mud and create that little bit of disturbance. And so I'm just sort of like shushing it along, stopping it. And it's a fairly slow retrieve. And I'm letting the flatty sort of come in and grab it. And it's sort of just, at times it's sort of catching as it gets into the weed, and then I'm pulling it through. And lots of stalls like that. And it grabbed that thing off the bottom so aggressively, didn't miss. And they love it. So it doesn't always have to be that really light finesse jig head with the light, you know, the hops off the bottom and then let it sit back down on the bottom. You can fish these heavier jig heads and shush them along the bottom if you like, and be able to get through really heavy weed. At one of my big flathead seminars in the last couple of months, a bloke asked me about fishing in Moreton Bay. Oh, there's a fish. Fishing in Moreton Bay because it's all been overgrown with weed because we haven't had the right sort of flush outs to get rid of a lot of the weed cover, and so it's completely just overgrown at the moment. This is one of the great options. Fishing with one of these Biscay shads with the weedless style and shushing it through those weeds and trying to stop it in the gaps and the breaks, I reckon it's super effective. And I'm just fishing on the bottom of the tide, like there's nothing really happening. I'm kind of waiting for my whiting session to start, to be honest. But I just thought I'd give this Biscay shad a go. And what a cracker. So that's it by 360 Coastal GT. I'll show you how they're rigged because it's a really interesting rigging system. Actually, I don't want to wreck that one because I've got him rigged. But you can kind of see what's doing there. The plastic has been specifically designed to match these jig heads, so it's a complete system that fits together, and they come with 2 in a pack. I'll show you. Spin the boat around so you're not staring into the sun. But if I just pull this one off like that, it's got a little twist lock system in it that holds your plastic on. So beautiful plastic with that painted finish, and then you've got like this swinging hook that just lodges beautifully once you twist that plastic on. It already comes pre-rigged, ready to go, so you don't have to worry about anything. But that's it. What a beautiful little system. It's a Biscay shad by Storm in the 360 Coastal range.